Well, I think very broadly it's going to be a year of sporting shows, political shocks and economic shifts. So the sporting shows, big events, the biggest of all, the World Cup in Brazil in the summer, but also the Winter Olympics in Sochi in Russia. Those will be focus a lot of the world's attention. In terms of the politics, it's a huge year for elections, perhaps the biggest year there's ever been for democracy one way or another around the world. And I think we're going to see some surprises in some of those elections and some results that many people will find uncomfortable, for example here in Europe, in the Euro elections. And then on the economy, I think there is a shift with the Western world doing rather better than it's done in recent years and with some of the big emerging markets struggling. Well, I think one that is particularly an engine for growth is the energy sector in America. So the United States is having this extraordinary energy boom thanks to unconventional gas and oil, shale, and the fracking technology that has really developed extraordinarily fast and has now having a big impact both directly in the energy economy of America, but also indirectly in boosting some of the industries that feed off that energy and which make America a very attractive place to invest for energy intensive industries. And that's part of what is driving the revival in the American economy. It doesn't feel like a very strong recovery to Americans. You wouldn't find a gung-ho mentality in America, but nevertheless America will be doing better than it has been doing in some time, and probably for the first, well, perhaps the second time only in the past 8 years will contribute more to global growth than China, for example. So America will be very important for the rest of the world in generating growth. Well, I think one of the things that global executives have to balance quite carefully is where to focus their attention, because in recent years so much of the attention has been on emerging markets, and that's been the name of the game, you know, getting into China, having a strategy for the big emerging markets. I think it's getting rather more nuanced in looking ahead, because there are more opportunities back home in the rich world. Japan is going to be growing as well, so there's more of a sense of where do you want to put your money. I think for the long term still there's going to be faster growth clearly in the emerging world, but you might want to look at some of the more second-tier markets there that hitherto haven't had such attention, but some of them will be growing very fast, and to look back home and think what opportunities there are in countries that perhaps are looking now to recover after a very tough time.